Welcome everyone to the February 2026 board meeting of the St. Charles Parish Public School District. Glad for everyone to be here. I'd like to recognize that all school board members are in attendance, including our superintendent and executive secretary. Tonight we will be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by Jacob Thompson, an 8th grader at J.B. Martin Middle School. Jacob plays football, basketball, and track for J.B. Martin. He's a team captain and a general leader around campus. Jacob is also a leader at Mount Zion Church, where he serves with other youth and sings in the choir. After the Pledge of Allegiance, District 6 board member Becky D. Weber will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. If you are able, please stand.
Jacob saying the prayer.
What did I say?
You said he was saying the pledge.
I'm sorry. Jacob will be saying the prayer. Thank you, Jacob.
Good evening. Dear God, thank you for bringing us together today. Thank you for our teachers, leaders, families, and students. Please give the members of the school board wisdom as they make decisions. Help them choose what is best for all students and staff. Guide our schools to be places of learning, kindness, and respect. Help us treat one another with patience and understanding, even when we disagree. Bless our community and help us work together for the good of everyone. Amen.
We start off with section 2, resolutions and proclamations. 2A, resolution in memory of Mrs. Rosemary Barre White. Mr. Ray Gregson, would you please read that?
Yes, sir, I'd be honored to. Resolution in memory of Miss Rosemary Barre White. Whereas Miss Rosemary Barre White worked in the St. Charles Parish Public School System for 21 years, and whereas Ms. White served as a bus monitor in the Transportation Department and retired on June 6, 2000. Therefore, be it resolved that the St. Charles Parish School Board herein expresses to the family of the late Miss Rosemary Barre White its sincere sympathy in this their time of sorrow, and be it further resolved that a page in the board meeting minutes book designated for the February 25th, 2026 board meeting be set aside for the sole purpose of inscribing thereon this resolution, and that a copy of this resolution be presented to Ms. White's family. Mr. President, I move approval.
A second.
I have a motion by Mr. Gregson and a second by Mr. Suffren. Is there any discussion?
Mr. O'Quinn.
Oh, Mr. O'Quinn. Second by Mr. O'Quinn. Is there any discussion? If not, please voice your affirmation verbally by saying aye.
Aye.
And please vote electronically.
Worked. Slow down. It's taking a few minutes.
Should be able to close pop-up now. Okay.
That proclamation passes unanimously. The family of Miss White, if If you could, please could come forward for a picture.
You gotta read them anyway.
Number 2B, resolution in memory of Mr. Michael Guma. Mr. Suffern, would you please read that?
Thank you, Mr. President. Resolution in memory of Mr. Michael Guma. Whereas Mr. Michael Guma worked for a total of 31 years, 6 in the St. Charles Parish Public School System. And whereas Mr. Guma was a band and elementary teacher at Lakewood Elementary School and retired on May 24th, 2014, therefore be it resolved that the St. Charles Parish School Board herein expresses to the family of the late Mr. Michael Guma its sincere sympathy in this, their time of sorrow. And be it further resolved that a page in a board meeting minutes book designated for the February 25th, 2026 board meeting be set aside for the sole purpose of inscribing thereon this resolution, and that a copy of this resolution be presented to Mr. Guma's family. Mr. President, Mr. Superintendent, members of the board, I move for adoption of this resolution.
A second.
We have a motion by Mr. Suffern and a second by Ms. Weber. Is there any discussion? If not, please verbally voice your approval by saying aye.
Aye.
And please vote electronically.
There it goes.
And that resolution is unanimously approved. Item 2C, resolution in memory of Ms. Denise C. Beck. Ms. Karen Boudreaux, would you please read that?
Sure. Whereas Ms. Denise Beck worked in the St. Charles Parish Public School System for 20 years, and whereas Ms. Beck served as a food service manager and technician at many schools throughout our district and retired on May 28, 2004, therefore be it resolved that the St. Charles Parish School Board herein expresses to the family of the late Mrs. Denise C. Beck its sincere sympathy in this their time of sorrow. And be it further resolved that a page in the board meeting minute book designated for the February 25th, 2026 board meeting be set aside for the sole purpose of inscribing thereon this resolution, and that a copy of this resolution be presented to Mrs. Beck's family. Mr. President, I move adoption of this resolution.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Boudreaux, a second by Mr. Oakman. Is there any discussion? If not, please verbally voice your approval by saying aye.
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 Please vote electronically. That resolution passes unanimously. 2D, Louisiana School Board Member Training Resolution. Mr. Art Oakland, would you please read that?
I'd be honored, Mr. President. School Board Member Training Resolution. Whereas each member of a city and parish school board shall receive a minimum of 6 hours of training and instruction as required by Act 705 of the 2011 Louisiana Legislature. And whereas this training and instruction shall consist of school laws of this state, laws governing the powers, duties, and responsibilities of city and parish school boards, educational trends, research, and policy. And whereas such instruction may be received from an institution of higher education in this state, from instruction sponsored by the State Department of Education, or by an in-service training program conducted by a city or parish school board, central office, or the Louisiana School Board Association, or training provided at the national level. Whereas each member of a city and parish school board shall receive 1 hour of ethics training per year of their tenure as school board members. Now therefore be it resolved that it become public record that all 8 board members of the St. Charles Parish School Board have successfully received and exceeded the 6 hours of required training as mandated by the Louisiana Legislature, and all board members have fulfilled the mandate of 1 hour of ethics training for the year 2025. Mr. President, I move adoption of this resolution.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Oakland, and a second by Ms. Boudreau. Is there any discussion? If none, please affirm verbally by saying aye.
Aye.
Vote electronically. That resolution passes unanimously. 2E, Black History Month Proclamation. Mr. John Smith, would you please read that?
Thank you, Mr. President. 2026 Black History Month Proclamation. Whereas during National Black History Month, we celebrate the value of the vast contributions of Black Americans to our nation's culture, economy, history, and identity. And whereas Black History Month grew out of the establishment in 1926 of Negro History Week by author, historian, and journalist Carter G. Woodson and the Association for the Study of African American Life and History. In 1976, on our nation's bicentennial, President Gerald R. Ford officially recognized Black History Month, urging Americans to seize the opportunity to honor the too oft neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in every area of endeavor throughout our history. And whereas the 2026 national theme for the observance is a century of Black history commemorations, and whereas the St. Charles Parish Public School System is deeply committed to equity and inclusion and supports the cultural and racial affirmations of all students, staffs, parents, and community members who identify as Black. And whereas the St. Charles Parish Public School System strive to close the equity and outcomes of gaps for Black students through policies and practices that improve the experiences of Black students, ensure greater access and opportunity, and honor history, heritage, and contributions. And whereas our community is better because of the diversity of our population, and now therefore be it resolved that we, the members of the St. Charles Parish Public School Board, hereby proclaim February 2026 as Black History Month and urge all citizens to celebrate the culture, heritage, and contributions of Black Americans to our diverse community, state, and nation, and our schools, not only during Black History Month, but throughout the year. I move approval.
Second.
Have a motion by Mr. Smith and a second by Mr. Alexander. Is there any discussion? If not, please verbally approve by saying aye,
Aye.
and please vote electronically. That proclamation is unanimously approved. 2F, Public Schools Week Proclamation. Mr. Ellis Alexander, would you please read that?
Mr. President, I will be honored to read the 2026 Public School Week Proclamation. Whereas the education of our children is essential to the future of our community, our nation, and our world. And whereas public schools are the cornerstone of our democracy, providing students with the knowledge, skills, and character needed for success in a diverse and dynamic society. And whereas public schools welcome all students, regardless of their background or abilities, and strive to create an inclusive and nurturing environment that fosters learning and growth. And whereas the dedicated educators and staff in our public schools work tirelessly to inspire a love of learning, encourage critical thinking, and prepare students for the challenges and opportunities of the future. And whereas Public Schools Week, which is being celebrated from February 23rd to February 27th this year, is an opportunity to recognize and celebrate the achievements and contributions of our public schools and the individuals who make them successful. And whereas this week provides a platform for showcasing the innovative programs, extracurricular activities, and community partnerships that enhance the educational experience for our students. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the St. Charles Parish School Board hereby celebrates Public School Week from February 23rd to February 27th, 2026, as a time to honor the commitment of our educators, staff, students, and families to the success of our public schools, and encourages all members of our community to join us in celebrating the achievements of our public schools and expressing gratitude for the dedication and hard work of those who contribute to the education and well-being of our students. Mr. President, I move to adopt this 2026 Public Schools Week proclamation.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Alexander, a second by Mr. Suffren. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in approval, please voice verbally by saying aye.
Aye.
And please cast your vote electronically. That proclamation passes unanimously. 2G, 2026 Louisiana Retired Teachers Day Proclamation. Ms. Becky Weber, would you please read?
It would be my honor. 2026 St. Charles Parish Public Schools Retired Teachers Day Proclamation. Whereas St. Charles Parish Public Schools retired teachers have devoted their careers to the education and training of tens of thousands of Louisiana youths. And whereas St. Charles Parish Public Schools retired teachers have provided job and social skills training for adults throughout the state. And whereas St. Charles Parish Public Schools retired teachers have rendered valuable service and diverse leadership roles to their communities and institutions throughout their careers and continue to render their services as retirees. Whereas St. Charles Parish Public Schools retired teachers represent the profession which is given the basic responsibility for launching the careers of state and national leaders, and for laying the foundation of the welfare for all members of our society. And whereas St. Charles Parish Public Schools retired teachers have improved the quality of life in the state and nation, often in less than adequate circumstances and for less than adequate pay. And whereas St. Charles Parish Public Schools retired teachers represented a tremendous pool of experience and training which remains dedicated to the betterment of society. And whereas St. Charles Parish Public Schools retired teachers represent a loyal, patriotic, and concerned citizenry which provides a dedicated and dependable support to the leaders in our communities, our state, and nation now. Now therefore be it resolved that we, the members of the St. Charles Parish School Board, do hereby proclaim March 19th, 2026 as St. Charles Parish Public Schools Retired Teachers Day. Mr. President, I move to adopt this proclamation.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Weber and a second by Mr. Suffren. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President, I'd like to say a few words. Tonight, we're proud to recognize the St. Charles Parish Retired Teachers Association for their outstanding achievement of gold status, of solid gold status, through the Louisiana Retired Teachers Association, a distinction that reflects their exceptional commitment to advocacy, service, and organizational excellence. The honor represents not only their continued leadership and civic engagement, but also the lasting legacy of the many retired teachers who have dedicated their lives to serving the students and families of St. Charles Parish. At this time, I'd also like to recognize and thank the officers for being in attendance tonight of the St. Charles Parish Retired Teachers Association, and I'd like you to stand and make your way to the front so we can take one picture with the board seated in the back. Mr. Billy Picard, President, Mr. Hank Shepard, President-elect, Ms. Barbara Clement Wilson, who is not here, but she's the first Vice President, at least that's what I was told, and Ms. Connie Gasson, the Secretary, and I like Mr. Larry Sesser. I'm not sure if he's an officer or not, but I'd like him to make his way to the front so we could take a picture. If we could get the Public Information Department to please take a picture, and we'll remain in our seats.
Dr. Artland, can I make a comment?
Yes, ma'am.
Tonight, we recognize some of our retirees, and those that were in attendance right before this meeting. There were 65 retirees with a total of 1,629 years of service. So I would like us to give them a round of applause for those doing that.
All right, Billy.
Wow, Billy.
Larry.
Thank y'all.
If there's no further discussion, please voice your approval verbally by saying aye.
Aye.
And cast your vote electronically. That proclamation passes unanimously. Section 3, recognitions. Hand it off to Ms. Alexis and team. I'm sorry, before she gets started, you can see we've got quite a bit of folks here. We are a AAA school district. We have a lot of kids to recognize. All we ask is that you let each one of them be recognized, and I promise you we will take a break afterwards and let you leave, but we don't want to have anyone disrupted by people moving around, so please just wait till the very end. I promise it won't take very long. Thank y'all.
Students. High school students were named to a Louisiana High School Athletic Association's All-Academic Composite Team. Destrehan High School's Carson Carrigy. Hahnville, sorry, Hahnville High School, Liam Bove. Brody Kazanov. Logan Rodrigue. High school students were named to a Louisiana High School Athletic Association All-Academic Divisional Team. Destrehan High School, Keenan Brown. Haley Chasson. Caden Coleman. Sarah Freeman. Ella Harrison. Cammie Johnson. Devin Ribaldo. Griffith Rosales Chavez. LaRon Thomas. Sanai Tuckson. Bruce Walker. Hahnville High School, Alex Cook. Paige Freelou. Chloe Hutchinson. Gage Seifert. Olivia Whitaker. High school students are wrestling individual district champions. Destrehan High School's Landon Allen. Caden Avocado. Jacob Britt. Ethan Taylor. Destrehan High School student was named to the All-District Soccer First Team. Donald Thomas. Destrehan High School student was selected to participate in the Louisiana High School Coaches Association's All-Star Soccer Game. Darlene Zuniga Medina. School system students are members of the Louisiana Music Educators Association's District 7 Honor Choir. Destrehan High School's Amelia Luquette. School system students are members of the Louisiana Music, Destrehan High School's Carrie Rios. Hahnville High School, Addison Orgeron. Rihanna Strickland. Luke Truding. Lakewood Elementary School. Ellie Bruce. Amelia Fontenot. Hannah Hartung. Zuri Hollins. Cullen Jeffers. Riley Peaty. Emerson Filestri. Isabel Filestri. Violet Smith. Ami Swayze. Employees. Hahnville High School employee is the 2025 Shell Science Lab Regional Challenge winner. Here to present her to the board is Mr. Jeff Berner, Production Manager at Shell Norco.
Good evening. My name is Jeff Byrne, and I'm the production manager at Shell Norco. It is a privilege to be here with you tonight to recognize an outstanding educator in St. Charles Parish. I'm proud to represent Shell, but I'm equally proud to stand here as a fellow member of this community and a Destrehan resident. At Shell, we are committed to expanding access to innovate and hands-on science education in the communities closest to our operations. To support that mission, we've once again partnered with the National Science Teachers Association to provide science lab curriculum, materials, and professional development to schools and teachers who demonstrate a strong commitment to improving science achievement for their students. We believe that when students have opportunities to explore, experiment, and create, they develop the problem-solving mindset that will drive the energy solutions of the future. This year, Shell's Science Lab Regional Challenge winner will receive a Science Lab Makeover support package valued at $15,000 and the opportunity to advance to the national phase of the competition, where they will have a chance to earn an additional $5,000 in support. Tonight, I'm honored to recognize the winning school and their exceptional teacher, Candace Cerny, science teacher at Hahnville High School in Bootheel. Congratulations, Candace, and thank you for your dedication to the students of St. Charles Parish. Your work truly shapes the future of our community.
Logan. We still have one more, yeah. I'm sorry, so we seem to have missed one student, so I'm going to read this again. High school students are wrestling individual district champions. Hahnville High School, Logan Rodrigue. Towards the beginning or the end? There it is.
Noah Hogan.
I don't know him.
He just started.
Okay.
He's a freshman also. But watch him, he's gonna be good.
Employees. Ethel Scheffner Elementary School employee is the 2025-2026 St. Charles Parish Public Schools New Teacher of the Year. Please direct your attention to the screen to take a look at her surprise announcement in front of her class as the 2025-2026 New Teacher of the Year, Juliana Falanga.
And on three, we're all gonna say, "We love Miss Falanga," all right? On 1, 2, 3.
Good morning, everybody. How are you? Guess what I'm here for? To give some flowers and congratulations to a very, very special teacher, Miss Falanga. Yes. But wait. Do you know why you're clapping? Miss Falanga has won the new new teacher for St. Charles Parish Public Schools, Teacher of the Year, the new Teacher of the Year. Yay! So well deserved. Is she an awesome teacher or what? Does she deserve these flowers or what? Yes, congratulations.
St. Charles Parish Public Schools proudly awarded the new Teacher of the Year honor to Ethel Scheffner's very own Juliana Falanga. Surrounded by her school administration, former educators, and her proud parents, her classroom came together to celebrate this incredible achievement. Juliana exemplifies the lasting impact a teacher can have, creating a space filled with belonging, inspiration, and joy, reminding us of the powerful journey that education makes possible.
Congratulations to everyone. Thanks for all the parents and guardians and grandparents and brothers and sisters that came to support. This is my favorite part of the meeting. So I'm glad you guys got to be a part of it as well. As I mentioned, now we're going to let everybody leave. Unless you want to stay for all the part where we talk about all the boring stuff, you're more than welcome. We'll get back together at 7:20. All right, guys. Next up is item 4.
Yeah, look.
Consent agenda items. The board will vote on the items discussed for consent at the February 23, 2026 committee meetings to include 4A, student accident insurance broker RFQ, 4B, personnel items, 4C, bid authorization request for child nutrition program food supplies and equipment, 4D, bid acceptance of unleaded fuel, and 4E, bid acceptance diesel fuel.
Move adoption?
A second.
I have a motion by Mr. O'Quinn and a second by Ms. Weber on the consent agenda items. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President, I'd like to just say, recognize one person as part of the personnel items for tonight, and that's our administrative intern at Norco Elementary School, Ms. Avignon Stewart. She's doing a great job, and she came in midway through the year, so thank you, Ms. Avignon, for being here tonight.
If there's no further discussion, please voice your approval with a verbal aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Please vote electronically. The consent agenda items pass unanimously. Section 5, business items. 5A, expulsion appeal of student number 1. As per LRS 17:416C3B4, the school board may review expulsion decisions and choose to affirm, reverse, or modify the actions previously taken by the superintendent or the superintendent's designee. St. Charles Parish school board members met as an ad hoc committee on February 23rd, 2026, at the request of student number 1's parents. The members of the St. Charles Parish School Board need to consider and then act upon the recommendation of its ad hoc committee.
Okay. Mr. President, I move to approve the ad hoc committee's recommendation to affirm the expulsion and sanctions of student number 1.
Second.
Have a motion by Ms. Boudreau, a second by Mr. Gregson. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President, I abstain from voting on this matter because I was not in the appeals hearing and did not hear the student's presentation.
Noted. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Any other discussion? If not, please voice your vote verbally with an all in favor with an aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed.
Please cast your vote electronically. And the expulsion is upheld. Item 5B, renewal of stop-loss insurance. St. Charles Parish School Board purchases stop-loss insurance as a self-insured employer to protect itself from high-cost medical claims that exceed predetermined limits. The purchase of stop-loss insurance is necessary to safeguard the district's financial stability and ensure the continued funding of employee health benefits. This agenda item was reviewed at the Risk Management and Insurance Committee meeting of the board on Monday, February 23rd, 2026, and is aligned with Goal D of the board's strategic action plan.
Mr. President, I move we approve Tokyo Marine HCC as the stop-loss insurance carrier at a cost of $2,355,939.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Oakland, a second by Mr. Gregson. Is there any discussion? If none, please vote verbally. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Please cast your vote electronically. That motion passes unanimously. Item 5C, board meeting minutes. We are moving to, or the recommended action is to approve the board minutes of the following meetings: January 12th, 2026 committee meetings, January 14th, 2026 board meeting minutes, January 23rd, 2026 board retreat minutes, February 9th, 2026 risk management and insurance meeting, February 11th, 2026 special board meeting.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the meeting minutes as you have noted.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Mr. Suffren, a second by Mr. Oakland. Is there any discussion? Please voice your vote verbally. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Please vote electronically. The board minutes are approved. Item 5D, renaming of East Bank Head Start Building. In accordance with Board Policy 3.08.04F, naming facilities, the superintendent and the assistant superintendent of curriculum, instruction, and assessment submit for board consideration a recommendation to rename the East Bank Head Start Building as the M.M. Bethune Early Learning Center. This recommendation was developed by the renaming committee and reflects a thoughtful alignment with the existing Carver Early Learning Center while appropriately honoring the legacy and namesake of Bethune High School. The proposed name maintains consistency across early learning facilities and recognizes the historical significance and enduring impact of the Bethune name within St. Charles Parish Public Schools. This item was reviewed at the capital improvements meeting of the board on Monday, February 23rd, 2026, and is aligned with Goal D of the board's strategic action plan.
Mr. President, I move the approval of the renaming of East Bank Head Start Building to M.M. Bethune Early Learning Center.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Ms. Boudreau, a second by Mr. Oakland. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President, just
Microphone, please, sir.
for the record, the M.M. Bethune is Mary McLeod Bethune, but I understand to be consistent with Carver Center as G.W. Carver. I just wanted to point that out.
Appreciate the clarification. If there is no further discussion, please voice your vote verbally. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Please cast your vote electronically. That item passes unanimously. Item 5E, LPAC organizational optimization. The LPAC is an arts education center uniquely positioned to promote and showcase the talents of students in St. Charles Parish Public Schools while embracing opportunities to host world-class performances for our students and the broader community. To fully optimize efficiencies, operations at the LPAC have been revisited. These changes yield alignment with the center's purpose and enhance student-centered programming. Annual ticket sales from the main stage series programming will cover the recurring cost increase of $7,876. This item was reviewed at the Personnel and Policy Committee meeting of the board on Monday, February 23rd, 2026, and is aligned with Goal B of the board's strategic action plan.
Move approval.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Gregson, second by Mr. Oakland. Is there any discussion? If none, please voice your vote verbally. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Please vote electronically. The new plan is adopted unanimously. Item 5F, CWA Student Services Phase 3 Reorganization Plan Job Descriptions. As part of the comprehensive organizational review conducted by Lean Frog in the 2023-2024 school year, insight and recommendations were provided to the superintendent and approved by the board. This plan was designed to improve department structure, reduce inefficiencies, align staff and processes, and optimize resources to serve students and staff better. Due to impending retirements, the Phase 3 Department Reorganization Plan will be implemented. This item was reviewed at the Personnel and Policy Committee meeting of the board on Monday, February 23rd, 2026, and is aligned with Goal B of the board's Strategic Action Plan.
Approve Phase 3 Department Reorganization Plan Job Descriptions.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Weber, second by Mr. Alexander. Is there any discussion?
Yes, and I want to mention too, it's going to be approximately 31,000 savings per year.
Noted. Thank you, Ms. Weber. If there are no other comments, please voice your vote verbally. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Please vote electronically.
Yes.
That item passes unanimously. Item 5G, Head Start Budget Fiscal Year 2027. Head Start standards require that the budget be presented annually to the board for approval. The Head Start budget includes supplemental funding from the school district. The proposed funding for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2027 is estimated to increase by $35,597 from the fiscal year ending 2026. The majority of this increase was previously approved at the board meeting on August 20th, 2025 as part of the pre-K expansion proposal. District supplemental funds are captured in this budget to reflect purchases of materials and supplies that are recurring costs throughout the year. This agenda item was reviewed at the Curriculum Instruction and Assessment Committee meeting of the board on Monday, February 23rd, 2026, and is aligned with Goal A of the board's Strategic Action Plan.
Mr. President, I move to accept the proposed FY27 Head Start budget
Second.
at a cost of $1,205,597.
Still second? Okay, we have a motion. We have a motion by Ms. Weber and a second by Mr. Suffren. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mr. President. Both of our Head Start centers, one at GW Carver and the aforementioned M.M. Bethune Early Learning Center, which was previously approved. We forgot to recognize members of that naming committee. So I do have Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum Instruction and Assessment, Ms. Angele Babin, to speak on behalf of that naming committee. Please.
Thank you, board members and superintendent. It is with deep appreciation that I acknowledge the members of our renaming task force in attendance this evening. Please stand as your name is called. We have our co-facilitator, who is our Director of Early Childhood Education, Nikki Weber. We also have our board member, Mr. Al Suffren, served on our committee, and our staff members, Antoinette Nasser, Kenyatta Sharper, and Kalisha Washington. Their commitment to recommending a name for the facility that reflects all of our students that are being served at this location, and to bringing alignment to the naming of the 2 early learning centers in our public school system is to be commended. And we can't wait to welcome our new learners to M.M. Bethune Early Learning Center. Thank you very much.
I hope Mr. Regan
We are back to the item Head Start budget fiscal year 2027. We did have a motion and a second. Was there any discussion outside of that? If there is no discussion, please voice your approval verbally by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Please vote electronically. That item passes unanimously. Item 5H, CEP, St. Charles Parish Public School System Current Community Eligibility Provision, or CEP, cycle will conclude at the end of this school year due to changes in federal guidelines. Beginning next school year, the St. Charles Parish Public School System will transition from CEP participation and return to the traditional free and reduced price meal application process. Meal prices have been established for families not qualifying for free and reduced lunch programs. The application process for free and reduced lunch qualifications will be communicated to all students and families. This agenda item was reviewed at the Finance and Audit Committee meeting of the board February 23rd, 2026, and aligns with Goal B of the board's strategic action plan.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the meal prices as recommended by the administration.
Second.
Estimated cost is $2 million. Thank you.
And still second. Okay, we got a motion by Mr. Suffren, a second by Mr. Smith. Is there any discussion? If none, please voice your vote verbally. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Please vote electronically.
I submitted.
Backing up.
Yeah. Because otherwise you
That item passes unanimously. Part 6, closing items. Standing committee reports. If there are any, sorry, we skipped one. I apologize. 5I, accounts payable. It's an important one. Invoices and other financial obligations of the school district are customarily paid weekly. Request for approval of these transactions is normally made to the board monthly. The board must approve expenditures of the public funds under its jurisdiction. This agenda item was reviewed at the Finance and Audit Committee of the board on Monday, February 23rd, 2026, and is aligned with Goal D of the board's strategic action plan.
Move approval.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Smith, second by Mr. Suffren. Is there any discussion? If none, please voice your vote verbally. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Please vote electronically. Accounts payable is approved. Now we may move to item 6, closing items. Standing committee report. If any board member wishes to give a report on any particular items, this is their chance. Seeing none, we move to 6B, information items. Please look over those. And 6C, Superintendent's Report.
Thank you, Mr. President. March is recognized as Arts in Our Schools Month in St. Charles Parish Public Schools, a time to celebrate the vital role arts education plays in developing creative, engaged, and well-rounded learners. Through instruction in music, visual art, dance, theater, and media arts, our dedicated arts educators provide students with meaningful opportunities to express ideas, collaborate, think critically, and connect with diverse cultures and perspectives. This month culminates in our 18th annual Arts Fest on Saturday, March 14th, a long-standing district-wide celebration that showcases student learning and creativity while strengthening connections between our schools and the community. We proudly recognize and thank our arts teachers for their commitment to nurturing student creativity, artistic growth, and a lifelong appreciation for arts. Earlier, you heard a proclamation for Public Schools Week. We're proud to join schools, districts, educators, families, and public education advocates nationwide in celebrating Public Schools Week. To celebrate this occasion, our students and employees are participating in a district-wide Spirit Week. The daily dress-down theme focuses intentionally on belonging, academics, athletics, arts, and learning for life. I encourage our community to visit our social media pages this week to witness our public school pride in action. We will feature testimonials from families throughout the district that showcase the impact of our schools. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to our entire school community for their unwavering dedication to our mission. In St. Charles Parish, public education is the engine of opportunity, and we remain committed to building a system that is resilient and equitable for all. Kindergarten registration for St. Charles Parish Public Schools is now open. Children 5 years old by September 30th, 2026 are eligible to register for kindergarten. The online link is available under the For Families tab on the St. Charles Parish Public Schools website, then select General Registration. Families may register in person at the school in their attendance zone between March 16th and 20th from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Applications for pre-K are currently being accepted too. St. Charles Parish Public Schools is excited to announce that Universal Pre-K 4 will be offered beginning in the 2026-27 school year. Families must complete the network application online under the Service tab on the district's website and then select Early Childhood Community Network. Students who will be 3 years old or 4 years old by September 30th are eligible to participate in the St. Charles Parish Public Schools pre-kindergarten programs. The first round of student selections will begin after February 28, 2026. Eligibility and placements are based on age, residential area, and income and are not awarded on a first-come, first-served basis. Free transportation is provided for students enrolled in the four-year-old program. Temporary residency applications for pre-K and kindergarten enrollments will be processed beginning June 1st, 2026. If a student is currently registered in pre-K at St. Charles Parish Public Schools, Head Start Center, or school site and has temporary residency, they must provide proof of residency when enrolling in kindergarten. The computer-based format of the ACT will be administered on March 10th, 2026 to all 10th and 11th graders as well as some seniors. Students not taking the ACT will participate in asynchronous learning on this day. Hahnville and Destrehan High Schools will share additional information about ACT testing and asynchronous learning. Please contact your school's administrator for additional information. The Visual Art Gallery will open to the public from Tuesday, March 10th through Friday, April 10th at the Dr. Rodney R. LaFawn Performing Arts Center. The exhibition features student artwork from across St. Charles Parish Public Schools and highlights the creativity, skill, and artistic growth developed through our visual arts program. A ceremony recognizing student artists selected from each school for the Superintendent's Gallery will be held on Tuesday, March 10th at 6 p.m. at the LaFawn Performing Arts Center. In celebration of Arts in Our Schools Month, St. Charles Parish Public Schools will host the 18th Annual Arts Fest on Saturday, March 14th, 2026, beginning at 2 a.m. at the Dr. Rodney R. LaFawn Performing Arts Center. Arts Fest is a district-wide celebration of student learning and creativity featuring visual arts installations from school arts programs and the Superintendent's Visual Arts Gallery, as well as interactive arts experiences by school bands, choirs, theater groups, and satellite center programs. Local food vendors will also be on site. The community is invited to join us for this dynamic showcase of the arts and the meaningful learning taking place across our schools. And finally, the St. Charles Parish Public School System is seeking Staff Achievement Award nominees. 1 staff member from 8 categories will be selected for recognition at the Staff Achievement Awards program in April. The deadline to submit a nomination is Monday, March 30th. Nomination forms will be available on the district's website. For more information, contact the Public Information Department. Please join me in recognizing the employees whose dedication helps create an environment where everyone feels they belong in St. Charles Parish Public Schools. Mr. President, that concludes my long report.
I move to adjourn.
I second.
We stand adjourned.